Welcome, beautiful soul. It's time to remember who we are. You were born for this moment, this breath. Nature teaches us and reminds us that whatever it is that we are searching for, that whatever our hearts and souls are longing for, we must know our unlimited power and worth. It's all already within us. So thank you for saying yes to this moment. Thank you for saying yes to this journey. And most of all, thank you for saying yes to yourself. Welcome, beautiful soul. Welcome, beautiful soul. I am so grateful that you have carved out time and space to join us today. We're going to be talking about the F word today. F word, that is the word of forgiveness. And how do we make space for forgiveness? It is a journey, I'll tell you that much. It's a practice. And it's also our opportunity to experience something more. So before we dive into forgiveness, let's make space to breathe. I invite you right now to close your eyes, if you're able to safely do so, of course. And we're going to use this time to center and to connect with the beautiful reservoir of power within us. First, simply breathe. Notice your own inhale and exhale. Where in your body do you notice and feel your breath? Are you noticing it in your throat, in your chest, further down? Simply notice. There's no need to change. We're simply noticing right now. And as you are breathing, know that this is the time that you carved out for you. So thank yourself that you made nourishment a priority, that you made a little stillness your priority, that you carved out time to be filled from the inside out. So thank yourself. Thank yourself for being alive. Thank yourself for the beautiful essence that you are, the beautiful soul that you are now, always, already. And as you're noticing this inhale and the exhale, moving through your being like a wave, ask yourself what you want to make more space to receive. What is it that you want to receive today? And whatever that is, see it all being added and filled within you with each inhale. So with every inhale, welcome, clarity, guidance, divine support, encouragement, assurance, provision, peace, harmony, grace, gentleness, forgiveness, hope, joy, love, abundance, healing. With every breath, see it being filled and added and moving through every fiber of your being. With every breath, whatever it is that you are inviting, let it move through you. Let it permeate, let it fill you. Receive it. Receive it and then let it marinate and seep all in you. Fortifying you. Nurturing you. And of course, with every exhale, it's our reminder to let go of all that no longer serves us. To let go of the stale voices that are tied to small, old constructs. You get to release that right now. So ask yourself, what is it that I need to let go of right now? What do you need to let go of? What do you want to let go of? And with every exhale, simply let it go. Whether that is worry, fear, healthy criticism, toxic patterns, energy of stuckness, feeling less than, energy of comparing yourself to anything or anyone else. We let go of old mindsets that tell us that we are stuck and can't grow, that life is difficult, that you'll never get there, wherever there might be. We let go of the illusion of lack, because it is an illusion. We let go of the vibration of scarcity. Maybe there's an old wound that's taken too much of your bandwidth, and we let go of the habit of focusing on an old wound. We let go of the pattern that tells us that we shouldn't open up, that it's too risky to be vulnerable. We let go of all those old lies and distortions that keep us tethered to fear, tethered to struggle and strife. And we let go of the poison of division and disparaging and devouring. Humanity, the lie that tells us that we are not all one, we let that go. And we let go of our need to cognitively understand everything, knowing that interferes with our ability to trust and to receive. So we let all that stands in the way of who we truly are and why we truly are, we let all that is no longer serving us go, and we imagine it all being recycled by the light of lights back into light. The same way your carbon dioxide is recycled by plant life back into oxygen for us, we see everything that we're letting go of, releasing, being transformed into light. And so I invite you right now to do a nice deep breath with me. We're going to breathe for a 5-second inhale together and then hold that breath in like a balloon for 5 seconds. And then we're going to slowly and gently release that air for 5 seconds. So let's go ahead and take that nice deep inhale together for 5. And now hold it in. And slowly and gently let it go. And keeping your eyes closed for just a few more minutes, let's put our attention on the beautiful heart center, so we can connect with that inner heart, your inner soul, your inner spirit. That's where your divine knowing resides, and you are able to access it right within you. Your beautiful essence, your divine guidance, it's all already within you. And so we put our attention here. And whether we've been diligent listeners or whether we've been distracted and ignoring, it doesn't matter. We put our attention here right now. And we ask our highest essence, what is it that you want me to know in this moment? Go ahead and ask, what is it that your divine essence wants you to know in this moment? And then take another deep inhale. Hold it for just a moment. And then let it go. And when you're ready, you can come on back and open your eyes. I always say that breath is so delicious, so filling, so fortifying. It's the metaphor for the truth that whatever it is that you are searching for and looking for, it's within you. And sometimes we need to give ourselves permission to receive by making space to slow down and simply breathe. So thank you for breathing with me. Our topic today is that F word. And as I reflect on forgiveness and invite you to reflect on forgiveness, I want you to know that it's a practice, first of all. Before I dive in deeper, we're going to just set the stage and we can all relax and know that forgiveness is a practice. So we don't need to be harsh and judge ourselves. We simply want to, same way we breathe, take that holy breath, and know it's a practice. And I don't know about you, but I certainly always believe that there's room for me to grow. That's why I talk about ING, growing, learning, expanding, listening, letting, and practicing. In this case, forgiveness. How do we make space for forgiveness? Well, the first piece is to realize that many of us weren't really taught how to forgive. We didn't really see people model forgiveness. And we may not have many miles on the road of truly forgiving ourselves. So that whole combination of not seeing it modeled, not practicing it, not being taught it, and then not even really understanding how to forgive ourselves adds to what makes it difficult. Because you know that your heart center is a very tender place. And once you've been hurt once, it's not so easy to open up. It's easier to put on some armor. It's easier to close ourselves off. And I'm here to remind you that living closed off, wearing armor, is exhausting. And it moves us further away from who we really are. You are light and peace and grace and gentleness, and you are filled with the gifts that all of humanity and all of life is asking for you to embrace and embody and share. And when we decide consciously and even unconsciously to close ourselves off, guess what? We all miss out. We all lose the opportunity to experience your exquisite nature. And so forgiveness, I want you to picture it as a pathway home. Pathway back home to who you really are and to why you are and to what I believe you truly are searching for. Now, advertisers will have us believe that we're searching for something outside of us, that we're searching for the right partner, the right lifestyle, which means the right car, house, career, the right friend group. And if you're like me, I spent so much of my life trying to be, I'm using air quotes, right. to make the right choices, to do the right thing. Because I was about to not say the word addicted. I'm like, actually, I was addicted. I was addicted to that pat on the head. I was addicted to wanting other people's approval, wanting everyone to believe that I was nice and kind. I'm not saying that I wasn't. I'm saying that I had an unhealthy need that was out of harmony with truth. The truth of who we are. And the truth of who we are is that you are magnificence. Not magnificent, you are magnificence. You are majesty. You are splendor. You are radiance. You are brilliance. You are far more than what any word could convey. And when we understand that that is who we are, we're also able to say at the same time, you are practicing. That we are all a work in progress. We're all growing. We haven't arrived yet. There's still more for us to learn. And that means that guess what? Sometimes we stumble, we fall, and we all know what it's like to be hurt. But can we admit that sometimes we've been the one to cause hurt to someone else? Knowingly and unknowingly. Now we all want to jump on the bandwagon and say it was unknowingly. And I'm here to say, well, you know what? There were some times I did some things that hurt people knowingly. And neither one feels good. Because the same way when we breathe, and I ask you to focus on that inner place within you, that is the inner compass, the inner guidance, your inner truth. And when we slow down and listen, it will always let us know when we're veering off from our center of who we are. And we can veer off when, just like I described, I'm spending more time concerned about what someone else thinks, someone else's opinion of me. And that is a conditioned mindset. To be conditioned to think about everybody else and how they're going to perceive us is a conditioned mindset that causes us to lose the truth within us. And let me be more specific. It loses our connection to it because that truth is still there within you, but we interrupt the connection by turning up the volume on all the static and all the noise called being concerned about other people's opinions. And when we begin to come back into harmony, and just like the old school radio stations, you find the clarity in your own channel, the sweet spot, where there's no static and it's just clear. And that clarity is your connection to your truth. What does this have to do with forgiveness? Everything. Because forgiveness requires humility. Humility requires knowing who you are, that you are able to love yourself, know that you are loved, and also know that you're also a work in progress. And that sometimes we don't fully realize our own wound until that wound has led us to hurt someone else. I know you've heard the saying, hurt people hurt people. Sometimes we are the hurt people who hurt people. And it takes maturity to say, it was me. I caused someone else to hurt. I veered away from the truth of who I am. I stopped listening. I ignored a message because I cared more about something else. Now that's when our ego likes to dress up as truth. And sometimes we fall for it. And we listen to the ego a little bit longer than is helpful. And I'm just going to tell you this too. There are very few times your ego is helpful. It's helpful when there is imminent and immediate danger. And many of us, gratefully, are not living in continual, imminent, and immediate danger. And for that reason, we need to be able to distinguish when your ego is painting the picture as though it's the truth. And your ego will have you say things like, well, I don't need to apologize. That was just me being who I am. That's just how I am. Or they're just too sensitive. Or that's not what I intended, so they should just know my heart. Do you hear that ego talking? It doesn't want to admit that, you know what? I caused you hurt. And I know that's not my true nature. I am truly sorry. And I'm here. I'm here. I'm here to listen to whatever you want to tell me about what my hurt caused you, how it felt for you, what you experienced. And instead of, hello, back to the ego, well, it's only because, and if you hadn't done this, and I was just, that's all ego wanting to justify. And instead we want to breathe and hold space to listen to how we may have intentionally and unintentionally sometimes caused pain to someone else. And that's an uncomfortable place to sit in. It's even more uncomfortable to sit in that without wanting to immediately explain and justify ourselves. Just sit and listen, because many times people want to be heard. Do you want to be heard? Do you want someone to truly just sit with you and let you share? We get to offer that. So we sit and we listen before we try to smooth it over. Sit in that discomfort, not as a punishment, not as some strange way of hurting yourself. Just sit in that discomfort with someone else so that we can fully own our choice. And then as you own your choice, you can ask, is there anything I'm able to do to reconcile, to be able to heal this? How can I be a part of restoring what I caused harm to in you? And listen, because it may not be anything, but simply asking that question gives space for someone to reflect and feel like they've been heard, and to feel your care and your love for them. And before you're ready to just flip to the new page and pretend like nothing happened, repeat back what you heard. Thank you for letting me know that when I responded with my sarcasm, it made you doubt my care for you. And it stung at a time when you were feeling like you wanted support, and instead you received my sarcasm. I heard you say that it felt like I wasn't with you, that I was against you. And that felt like a betrayal to our friendship, to our relationship. And I hear you. I hear you. And I apologize for the harm I've caused. I apologize for sharing my hurt in a way that caused you hurt. I want to make it right. I want to reconcile. I want to restore. And maybe I heard you say that you need some time, or maybe you want a hug, or maybe you just need a little space. I'm here to offer all of that to you. And I do love you. I do respect you. I do care about you. And I want to grow. And seeing what I caused in you, the hurt, makes me want to grow even more. Again, I am so sorry. The ego will say things like, well, are we good now? Or, I didn't really mean that. Or I hope you know me. Because it wants to qualify. It doesn't want to admit that we're capable of causing harm. And instead of feeling like we're rotten or there's something wrong with us, see this as, I hope you heard me talk about the opportunity to grow. That forgiveness is an opportunity for us to all grow, whether you're the one who is seeking forgiveness, whether you're the one who is asking for forgiveness, you're the one receiving forgiveness. It doesn't matter. We all have room to grow. We're all in this together. We're all interconnected. We are all one. And so it does no good to also, hello ego, not want to receive someone's apology, like have a little attitude about it. Like, no, I didn't feel like they were really sorry. I don't want to offer them anything. As if that makes us better. Because now we're stuck in the mire of that low energy called judging and comparing. That doesn't take away that we may feel hurt and that we've been hurt. It's just how we respond. And so when you are hurt, when something hurts you, and again, I said we all have been hurt. When we are hurt, take a moment and ask yourself, why does this hurt? It's so hard to sometimes get there in the moment of it. So maybe you need to take some space or walk or journal or just quiet and ask, why does this hurt? Had I put someone on a pedestal? Did I have an expectation? Did I assume that everybody's always going to be perfect and amazing? Did I not anticipate something? Did I not see it coming? And the answer is yes to all of that. We all have held an expectation. We all have hoped someone wouldn't hurt us. We all had imagined that someone was perfect and we put them on a pedestal. We've done all those things. That doesn't mean we deserve anything. It just means, oh, that's an opportunity for me to notice where I put outsized expectation on someone else. I, for a moment, forgot that we all have room for grace. We all have been hurt and are in our own journey and pathway for healing. And forgiveness, when you choose to forgive, to accept someone's forgiveness, you create room, like a portal, for new energy to come through for yourself and for all who are involved. Because why? We're all interconnected. Holding on to the hurt, letting it calcify, harden over, mummify, all of that, it keeps us from expanding. It keeps us tight and restricted, and whatever is that we really desire, we've now closed off a channel for it because of unforgiveness, because of judgment and bitterness. And what stops us is the worry, the fear. The ego says, if you forgive them, they're going to do it again. They're going to think that you take it. They're going to think that you're weak, that you're vulnerable. Your ego will lie to you and tell you all those stories. When we need to remember that we live moment by moment, and we certainly don't let our ego paint the picture. Practicing living as presence, and in presence means I don't know what's around the corner. And I'm not going to let my ego try to tell me what that might be. I want to breathe and let that beautiful inner essence and inner guidance provide direction one breath at a time. You're not going to see the whole map, the whole blueprint of, okay, I should let this person back in. I should do that. I should. And we get so worried about what I should do that we're not hearing what is divine guidance saying to you in this moment. Because that's the only moment that matters, is this one. And you don't know what's going to happen. Several moments later, several days, weeks, months, years later, it's this moment. And we want to practice connecting to truth and living truth and being truth in each moment. And forgiveness is a huge part of that. It's our pathway home. We can't come home to the fullness of who we are without understanding that forgiveness is part of the journey. And then, I love this quote from Maya Angelou. It says, when you know better, do better. That's so simple. Your ego says, oh, you have to come up with a whole formula of things to do. No, when you know better, you do better. So we ask for forgiveness. We receive forgiveness. And the forgiveness that I now want to speak about is forgiving yourself. That's the one. So those other examples had to do with other people. Now let's talk about when it's time to forgive yourself. Maybe you're saying, I have nothing to forgive myself for. Ask that question again. What is it that perhaps there's room for me to forgive myself for? What might that area be? And maybe it's forgiving yourself for playing it too safe, for playing too small. Maybe it's forgiving yourself for living too much in the past and not enough right here. Maybe forgiving yourself for not trusting yourself and for overriding your own truth. We hijack that truth sometimes because everybody else says go with the flow over here, so we forget our own flow. We focus on what social media says we all should be doing. What's the biggest trend? How should we be marketing, reaching people, doing things, connecting, relationships? When, guess what? Those answers are all within you. I'm not saying don't ask for support and help. Yes, and always. Trust that still, quiet voice within you. That doesn't mean it won't sometimes feel uncomfortable. There's a difference. When we're out of our comfort zone, of course it feels uncomfortable. When we override our truth, that's a different level of discomfort. Notice the difference in yourself. Where am I being stretched? Where am I being asked to grow? And it's uncomfortable. And where did I absolutely, for a moment, or maybe for a lot of moments, ignore my own truth? Or maybe I forgot how to listen. And I have experience in that too, where there was a whole season in my life where I was not listening. I forgot how to listen. I stopped listening to the still quiet voice of truth within me. I spent more time wearing myself out trying to please everybody else. It's impossible and exhausting. So, forgiving ourselves, I had to forgive myself for that. Forgive myself for the pain I caused other people, and most of all, forgive myself for ignoring this gold mine of truth within me, for believing that I was less than someone else, for believing that their voice mattered more than mine, for forgetting that the divine is already in us. Forgive myself for thinking that I have to go out and chase it, that I have to go uncover it and find it away from me. So forgiving myself for all the energy I spent believing I was separate from spirit. Forgive myself for believing that the material, physical world is all that matters. For ignoring the truth that we are all energy and that we are all spirit, sharing in this existence, and that no one's experience is better than anyone else's. That doesn't mean you're going to agree with them. We're transcending agreement and talking about oneness. And to experience oneness means, yes, we will travel down that pathway of forgiveness so that we can find our way home. To what? To liberation, to be free. Free from those tentacles, from those chains that keep us locked to an inferior truth of being separate, of not being enough. You already are. And so it's with gentleness and grace and so much love that we practice forgiveness. Forgiveness is not a weapon that we use to put over someone else's head or even our own. It's a tender gift. And so we offer ours with as much humility and vulnerability and love and compassion. And we also receive forgiveness and make space for forgiveness in us with the same compassion and grace and tenderness and gentleness. So that, guess what? That compassion, that tenderness, that grace, that gentleness, we want that to be the permeating residue. We want that to remain. Not the judgment, not the less than, not the shame, not the guilt. The compassion. And now the wisdom to treat each choice as the power that it is. Every choice you're making is powerful. Because guess what? You are the power. And so we want to choose with consciousness, choices that reflect who we are. And the more you've done your healing work and have forgiven yourself, to allow more healing to flow, guess what? More healing flows. So if the saying is that hurt people, guess what? Healed people help heal people. You get to be a part of the healing. And it starts with you. Making space to see yourself as worthy of forgiveness from you to you. And as you make space for that, it becomes so much more open to offer forgiveness to others and to receive their forgiveness. We're all in this together. And it's a practice. I hope you share your experiences with us. We'd love to hear them. You can send your comments on our comment section here. We also hope that you share this episode with someone who you know could benefit from reflecting and considering forgiveness. We want you to like this episode as well, because the more likes, the more sharing, it helps our message grow. And we do want it to grow. We believe there's space for it to grow. And we already see more light and more love expanding as we share in this together. So I thank you for making time today. I thank you for being present. And I thank you for being exactly and amazingly who you already are. Beautiful soul. Thank you.
Thank you, beautiful soul, for remembering who we are and for making time and space to be with us today. As you go forward on your journey to the known and unknown places, continue to listen to your inner heart and honor your soul, because your answers are always within you. Please consider supporting us in spreading more light and love with this message by simply liking the video below, subscribing, and consider sharing as well. Most of all, take gentle care and breathe. We see you. We thank you. Beautiful soul.